L2.
Welcome to today's 8th standard physics class. In this class, we are going to discuss a new topic, motion. Let's watch a video. What did you see in this video? Moving cars, flying birds, and a sailing boat. All these objects are in motion, right? So, what is motion? We all know about it. Then, what is the opposite word of motion? Yes, it is rest. Okay, let's watch another video. What's your observation from this video? At first, we saw that the person is in rest, right? But later we found out he was in motion. Let's now analyze a table. Here is a table, we can analyze it by the observation you have already done. Here, 4 situations are there. A passenger is moving a bus. With respect to the bus, what is happening? The person is in a state of rest. Now, with respect to the road, the passenger is in the state of motion. The passenger is in the state of motion. Let's watch another video which is related to the second situation. Here in second situation, a crow sitting on a cow grazing in a field. With respect to the cow, what happened to the crow? Yes, the crow is in the state of rest. And with respect to the ground, what happened to the crow? Yes, the crow is in a state of motion. Okay, let's watch a picture. Here is a picture. Look at this picture. A boy is standing in a field, right? Okay. With respect to the ground, what's happening for that child? With respect to ground, he is in a state of rest or motion. Yes, he is in a state of rest. But with respect to sun, what's happening? With respect to sun, the earth is revolving, so that the child also moving. So, here the child standing in a field, with respect to sun, he is in a state of motion. Okay. In the fourth situation, a book is on a rotating table. We need to say why the book is in a state of rest, why the book is in a state of motion. Here with respect to the table, what happened to the book, and with respect to the ground, what happened to the book. With respect to ground, the book is in motion because it is on a rotating table. So, with respect to ground, it is in a state of motion, and with respect to table, it is in a state of rest. Okay. From by completing all the columns from this table, we can understand that in order to find the state of an object, we need to use a reference body. So, what is the meaning of a reference body? Can you give a clear explanation for reference body? Yes, you can. Try it. A reference body is the object with respect to which the state of rest or motion of an object is described. Reference body is the object with respect to which the state of rest or state of motion of an object is described. That is called reference body. Then what do you mean by motion? Can you describe motion? And what do you mean by rest? Can you describe rest by observing all these activities? Yes, we can. If the position of an object changes with respect to the reference body, then the body is said to be in motion. If the position does not change, the body is said to be at rest. So, this is the two explanations, right? The explanation to motion and explanation to rest. Let us move on to another important fundamental concept. Here there is a figure. This building is a house, and this one is a hospital, and this is an office, and it is a ration depot. A person is starting his journey from his house, and he need to reach at his office. Now, for his journey from his house to office, he took the road near the hospital, right. For his journey back to his house, he took the road near to the ration shop. Let us analyze the distance travelled by the person. To reach his office, the distance travelled by the person is, he took the road near to the hospital. So, the distance between his house and hospital is 600 meter, and the distance between the hospital and his office is 300 meter, total 900 meter. And to reach his house, the distance travelled by him is, the distance between office and ration shop is 660 meter, and from ration shop to his house the distance is 420. So, the total is 180 meter. Then what do you mean by distance? Can you say a definition for distance? Yes, distance is the length of the path travelled, length of the path travelled. Now, try to answer some questions. Here are some questions. You need to answer these questions by the observation of the previous this figure. From this figure, you need to answer all these questions. I will read for you. What is the distance travelled by him to reach the office? What is the distance? Yes, it is 900 meter. And to reach home, yes, it is 1080 meter. Next question, are the distance travelled in both the situations are equal? No, because 900 and 1080, they are not equal. Find the straight line distance from his home to his office and write it down. What is the straight line distance? Yes, the straight line distance between his house and office is 480 meter. So, you can write it here. Will he reach the office if he travel 480 meter towards north? I am repeating the question. Will he reach the office if he travels 480 meter towards north, towards northern direction? Here the N indicate this upward arrow indicates northern direction, and the this arrow indicates western direction and the lower arrow indicates southern direction and the right arrow, this arrow indicates eastern direction. The question is, if he travels 480 meter towards northern direction, will he reach at his office? No, because the direction of his office from his home is eastern direction. So, he will not reach his office. Next question, in which direction should he travel 480 meter to reach the office? In which direction? Yes, he need to travel in eastern direction. He need to travel in eastern direction. So, finally, this 480 meter straight line distance from home to office east towards is his displacement. There is a new term you are hearing. What is that? It is displacement. Now, what is the total distance covered by him if he traveled from home to office and back to home? What is the total distance travelled? It is 900 plus 1080, that is equal to 1980 meter. That is the total distance travelled by him from his from home to office and back home. Final question is, what is his displacement? His displacement is 0. 0 is the answer. Why? This is because he starts his journey from his house and his journey ends at his house. So, the displacement is 0. The initial and final points are same. So, the displacement is 0. Now, can you give a definition for displacement? Yes, displacement is the straight line distance from the initial position to the final position. It has both magnitude and direction. Its unit is meter. The distance, for distance, distance has only magnitude. There is no direction for distance and its unit. For distance, the unit is meter. Here for displacement, unit is meter. We are discussing another activity, that is a stone thrown vertically upwards travels to a height of 6 meter and falls back to the hand. On the basis of the above statement, complete this table. We need to complete this table. I will demonstrate the situation in this question. I have a stone in my hand. I am throwing it upwards, right? What's happening? After reaching a certain height, it is coming back. Now it is in my hand. This is the situation. Only difference is the vertical movement of this stone is the height travelled vertically is 6 meter. Now we can observe the situation. When the stone reaches the topmost position, the maximum distance travelled by the stone is 6 meter. So, the distance travelled by the stone when the stone falls back in the hand, the distance travelled is again 6 meter and the displacement is 6 meter, right. But finally, if we are considering the considering from the first position to the last position, what is the total distance covered? It is upward position 6 meter, downward position 6 meter. So, the total distance is 12 meter. But what about the displacement? Yes, displacement is 0. Because why we are saying that? It is because the displacement is the straight line distance between initial position and final position. Here initial position and final position are same. So, displacement is 0. Okay. Here physical quantities having both magnitude and direction are referred to as vector quantities. Physical quantities have both magnitude and direction. For displacement, both magnitude and direction are there. So, displacement is a vector quantity, and physical quantities of which the direction is not to be indicated are scalar quantity. for distance only magnitude, there is no direction. So, distance is a scalar quantity. Now, a scalar what do you mean by a scalar quantity? Physical quantities having only magnitude. What do you mean by vector quantity? Both having both magnitude and direction. Okay. Let us have a brief recap of the major concepts. First, what is reference body? What do you mean by reference body? Reference body is the object with respect to which the state of rest or motion of an object is described. Now, what is distance? Distance is the length of the path travelled. And what is displacement? Displacement is the straight line distance from the initial position to the final position. And what is as a vector quantity? Physical quantities having both magnitude and direction are referred to as vector quantities. And what is scalar quantity? Physical quantities of which the direction is not to be not to be indicated are scalar quantities. Before ending the class, here are some questions for you. Now, the first question is, on the basis of the information you have gathered, observe the figure, this figure, and complete the table, this table. You need to complete this table by observing this figure. This figure indicates a person starts his journey from A. He starts his journey from A and goes to D through B and C and comes back to A. That is this is the situation. You need to answer the complete this table by using this data. Okay. I hope you can complete this table by using this data. Next question. There are two figures, figure A and figure B. By observing this figure, the figures are the two figures shows the journey of a person from A to C through B. A person starting his journey from A through B, he is reaching at C. Here also from A to C through B. Now, the questions are, first question, what is the total distance travelled according to first figure and what is the displacement? You need to answer, you find out the distance and displacement from the first figure and second figure. Second question, what is the total distance travelled according to B, what is the displacement? Finally, analyze the two answers. From the two answers, find the situation in which the magnitude of distance and displacement becomes equal and write it down in your science diary. Okay, please answer these questions and submit to your teachers. Here I am winding up today's class. See you in next class. Thank you.